I have a confession to make. I've fallen in love. His name is the Angry Driver.
That makes me angry that it's not me.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you've been replaced. I could not say enough about how awesome this pedal is. This is the mashup between JHS and Boss, where they took the Boss Blues Driver pedal, the old BD2, and the JHS Angry Charlie, or as we lovingly refer to it as the Disgruntled Linus. Sounds great. There's so many things you can do with this pedal. They sound great by themselves, but they also have a lot of cool tricks that you can pull off by combining the circuits together. And we are going to go through a few of those. It's going to be awesome. And this is probably the loudest I've played this thing, so this will be fun. Lots of fun.
Even just balancing, getting these to sound the same was a lot. I mean,
just hearing a stab of chords sounded great. So, and what we've done here, we've kind of gotten these settings to sound similar to each other so we can compare. It really didn't take much. All three of these pedals have some serious volume boost. So even if you're just gonna look for some sort of boost for solos or even a clean boost, this pedal would work fantastic for that, but it has just so many great applications. I'm rediscovering every day a different reason why I love this pedal. I think it's my favorite Boss pedal now. Ever.
I mean, it's the only Boss pedal I currently own. Nothing against Boss, I just...
What you love, you own.
I'm saying, I love it.
So what we're going to do here is go through a few of the different settings. Again, we've got these pretty much evened out as best we could. And so we're going to start by showing off the Boss side of it. So what this pedal allows you to do, if we have it in our shot, is you can choose from just the Boss, bypass, or there we go. So, excuse me, first off, since I can't see very well, I'm getting old, it's the JHS, which is indicated by the red light. So if you see the red light, that's how you know you're getting just the JHS. Second, you have the Boss circuit, which is indicated by a blue light conveniently, because this is blue, this is red. It made so much sense. And then next you have, this is going to be one of my favorite settings. Now, this allows you to switch between the two. Very cool. And they just stay on. It's great. After that, you have combination sounds. So you'll have the Blues Driver into the Angry Charlie, and then vice versa, as well as a also very good sounding parallel mode. And these are indicated by purple, because when you combine blue with red, you get purple.
It's awesome.
And purple is always a great overdrive sound. If it has enough purple, you know it's going to be killer. Sweet. Purple's just great. So, anyway, let's start.
So we're starting with what?
We're going to start with, since we're just going to kind of go in some sort of order here, because we will have to change the order of these in order to match the other settings. We are just going to try to keep this as simple as we can. First off, we have this will be our Angry Charlie setting. So, since this is a pedal I know Rick's got, and he sounds killer when he stabs chords into this thing, we'll start off with the original sound. So we should be on you with our handy switch, and let's hear our clean tone again. Gotta hear it every time, because we totally don't shoot several videos a day, and you know, forget that we have to tell you what the amp sounded like.
I don't mind hearing the clean sound of that Carmen Ghia Dr.Z.
Carmen Ghia.
It sounds good.
2 knobs. They're right here.
The 2 knobs.
All right, let's hear it. Wah, 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 wah. Let's hear the Angry Linus.
Yes.
Disgruntled Charlie. So here we go. Of course, that is shirt-flappingly good. I just want to twist my microphone and swing it around while this guy plays.
Fat hair,
look cool.
Yep.
Well, that's why I'll do it for him. I have enough. because it
So graceful.
So good. So we just heard that. Now let's hear
The Blues Driver?
the Angry Driver.
Angry Driver. Okay,
So
yes.
We're gonna hear the sorry. We're gonna
Well,
hear
all right, so this is the Angry Driver, Angry Charlie setting.
So angry.
Right?
So, obviously, from what I read up on, and I think you may have told me before, this is definitely going for that Marshall sound.
Yeah.
I think it nails it. This isn't like your over-the-top new metal kind of tone, but this is just that cranked up, classic, good for anything from Free and Bad Company all the way to, 80s metal and anywhere in between. Fantastic Marshall sound.
And this is, that was a Tele pickup.
Yeah.
That was the Tele Bridge pickup, and it sounded meaty and it sounded good.
So good.
I probably should be playing some sort of humbucker, but
yeah, it doesn't matter. I've tried it with a couple of my guitars, and they all sound absolutely fantastic. So we've heard that. We're going to switch it over now to the Boss Blues Driver setting. So first, let's hear our Blues Driver.
Okay. I'm just going to play the same chords.
Some cats think that this thing's just for blues because
that's a good classic rock sound.
I love it for metal. It's a great lead tone. In fact, some of the other settings can show you that it's actually a great always on if you kind of dial it back on the gain, or if you're the type to raise and lower your volume knob a lot, and it just sounds fantastic. Not as it sounds just as good. So let's hear now the
Blues Driver inside the JB2.
It's like the inception of Blues Drivers inside a dream. Oh, so good. So now we've heard that. We can move on, and we'll come to the next setting last, because it doesn't really matter. So let's hear what else this thing can do. We're going to go straight to parallel mode. So what that is going to be is it's going to be both of these pedals kind of, together. Not chained into each other, but separately going into it, almost like a side chain, I guess, or is one way of explaining it, or as if, imagine basically that these are two completely separate outputs to 2 amps or 2 matching amps, however you want to think of it, but basically it's not them chained together, but simultaneously feeding your output stage.
Right.
So you're going to hear both of them almost blended together, and it's a really cool sound, so let's check it out. Liked it, especially when you arpeggiate those things loud.
It's
so angry.
It's a good loud though.
No, it's a pleasant loud.
Yeah, it's so good.
What I was gonna say is that this has got almost that I would call the exploding Vox tone in parallel. Especially when you kind of
it's
arpeggiated.
It's not. You would think you start putting 2 pedals together, sometimes you can get a little muddy, like we're just too much. It's very crisp. Mm-hmm. You can hear each string, each note very clearly.
The articulation is great.
And to be fair, none of these pedals are real muddy pedals, but when you start doing some fun stuff like putting them together, they can do that. But
or synthetic qualities. I find a lot of times you end up having to be judicious with where you set your controls, because when you chain several drive stages together, it can get synthetic. It sounds fake. It doesn't sound like you're playing through an amp. To my ears, at least, this still sounds like we're just cranking up an amp. It doesn't sound like we're got pedals in front of us. It sounds really great. So that's our parallel mode. which we can't really duplicate in this situation here. So we're next going to go into our mix of the Blues Driver into the Angry Charlie, which I'm pretty sure that's what the area indicates. If not, I've got it completely backwards. And, you know, we should be able to hear the difference when we A-B them. So since we've got the settings, these sounded pretty close to what these sounded independently.
I thought they sounded, I mean, I think they sound really, really, really good. They both sound, and when I say good, I mean they sound like the Angry Charlie inside the JB2 sounds like an Angry Charlie.
Yes.
It really does.
And it might be a great time, since I think I've neglected to mention too, what we have here is these stacked concentric pots. I think I'm saying that right.
Yeah, you are.
So you have concentric pots here that control each of the pedals. The bottom row here, if it's in the shot, is the Boss controls, and then you have the top row here, which is the JHS controls. So you can, you know, of course, manipulate each of these independently. So if you want less gain on one or more tone on the other, or higher output or lower output, you can even that out as you see fit, and then it's all governed by the master switch here that controls which of the settings it is. So if I'm looking at this right, it's pointing the B into the J, so this assuming that means the Blues Driver into the JHS. So since we have that, let's hear how that sounds when we combine the two. So the Angry Driver is bypassed, and this is the actual two pedals in that order combined. So let's see how that sounds.
Let's listen to the noise.
There's a little bit.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that the noise sounds the same when we go to the JB2.
Actually, this thing, I think it was pretty dead quiet.
Pretty
since
quiet?
we're on it. There's a little. There is a little, but they definitely when you change,
that's just how they probably did something to make it.
And it could also be too a phenomenon of, since you're plugging two power devices and there's cable, there's a lot of different reasons for why they changed, but neither one is putting out like the frying shit pan of noise that you would expect.
We know that high gain pedals are going to have noise. I just wanted to see if they were the same.
Not exactly, but hey, let's see what happens. So again, Blues Driver into the Angry Charlie. Do me a favor, because the sustain on that in here is just killer. Hit that G chord and just let it ring. Excellent.
That was awesome.
The sustain. I just spit. I spit. Sustain. Sibilance. Okay, that sound. The sustain on that sounded killer. I dare say you could. That's Iron Maiden territory right there. You're already in that kind of sound. So now we can hear what the opposite is. The JHS into the Blues Driver, so we're gonna have
No, wait, we didn't hear what this sounded like.
Oh, we didn't. It's right. Oh, see, I'm so excited by it, I just forgot. So, let's hear what this sounds like now. So, hear that same chord again there. Let's make sure we got that one right. So let's see if that's.
That sounded more.
It sounded like it might have been. So we may have had. I think we may have. So I think that might be the reverse order.
Okay, so that.
Misleading arrows. So
and that makes sense to me. Blues Driver going into the Angry Charlie should be a much more gainy sound.
Yes.
And the Blues Driver should just tighten it up so it kind of cuts some of the low end out of it. To me, flipped, you're still going to get a high gain,
but it's the opposite. It's more like the amp into the pedal, almost.
Yeah, that's
if that's what you want to think of it as, at
Yep.
least. So we may have had that backwards. I don't know. I'm so excited with how good it sounds. I don't even know which it was. But plus, I don't have the two to shoot out usually. So
yeah.
Either way, sounds good. So that means this was the other set.
Yes, which is the Angry Charlie into the Blues Driver.
So we're going.
Now we're back.
Yes.
Okay. So what are we doing? What's this next one then?
So now we should have, if I know what I'm talking about finally, we should have, we should now be JHS into the Blues Driver. So let's hear how that sounds. We've heard it the other way around, and now we're doing the opposite. Dude, that makes me want to just jam some Ramones songs. That's just that great buzzsaw, classic rock sound in my ears.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm curious to see what it, because I felt like
it's tricking you, isn't it?
it's weird. Yeah. So
but either way, if you'll, even if we are wrong on knowing what we're talking about, you can at home can either verify by owning them yourself or looking at the manual. To see which one we got right, because you'll have at least heard all of the sounds.
Do me a favor, keep the Charlie on, turn off the Blues Driver.
Okay.
Angry Charlie on Blues Driver.
It's the red button,
what I
right?
want you to do is turn on, I'm going to strum the G chord, and then turn on the Blues Driver, and I'm going to turn it on, and then I'm going to play the G chord one more time.
Okay.
I just want to hear the difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it adds a little bit more of that tightness either way, because traditionally, like you were saying, probably think of going this first and then this second, because this does sound more amp-like. But really, I don't think you can go wrong.
Nah, I think
they both sound really good, but they are a little bit different. Again, I think this kind of setting is definitely more that buzzsaw kind of sound.
Yeah, and I think I prefer a boost, like a Blues Driver set in the boost setting into a higher gain pedal.
Right.
I think it's just what I'm used to.
So we did also hear this.
No, we have not.
So we need to hear that now. So
that
it's a little bit different hearing it from this one. Of course,
Try it again. Let's go back to the other two.
And just because I'm crazy. I might be wrong on this, but my deaf ears, I think we may have had it right to begin.
I think we were right.
So it doesn't matter. You can throw a dart at this thing and it's going to sound good.
Yeah.
So, land anywhere on the map, it is fantastic.
And I could see a way that you could have this pedal, this pedal, this pedal all on the same board and just have like 4 different gain stages and just, this is some goodness to
Only
that.
crazy people would do something with that many drives.
Never
which
us.
We're probably going to show.
We're smart pedal users. We're responsible pedal
I
users.
don't have like 20 combinations that I can get. That's crazy. So, I think last but not least, this, I'm going to switch over to me because I love this kind of thing. So, what this guy is now doing is one of my favorite ways to use this pedal now, and it was really an afterthought for me, cool, whatever, but now that I actually own this pedal and use it, this has become one of my favorite ways to use it, especially in a rock or metal context. This is the setting that allows you to switch back and forth quickly between the two. So you're getting the Blues Driver, and then when you hit the switch, you get the Angry Charlie, and vice versa. So what I've been doing with this is putting this in front of a driven amp or another distortion or overdrive, and kind of using the Blues Driver setting as a always-on rhythm sound, and then the Angry Charlie as the kicked-in lead boost.
Very nice.
And of course, I think I've got my controls set a little bit differently, just because I kind of A/B'd them and tuned it all to my rig. Thank you. So basically, you can switch between the two, and then you just sounds great. So what I've been liking to do, I can go. I'm so angry driver. And just so you can hear again, this is gonna stay on. So if you're using a clean amp, you know, if you still want your clean tone, just back off your volume, which is what I do most of the time anyway. And then of course, when you roll it all the way up, this is basically my rhythm. Might be a little bright since this isn't the guitar I typically play, but, and then if I switch over, I'll hear Angry Charlie. Like I said, the fun part goes when you start stacking that into something. So say we'll use the Angry Charlie here as that as that lead sound. So again, this would be somewhat of my rhythm tone, I suppose.
Ready?
Yep. Not bad. Then if I wanted to kick into a lead tone, I absolutely love that because, like I said, I'm more of a leave it on, roll back your volume, switch pickups kind of guy anyway. So the fact that I can go that different, and that doesn't sound bad at all. Of course, the pedal I use or the amp I use is different, but if you should have hopefully been able to hear the difference, and just in case, do one more little thing so you can definitely hear the difference consistently. So we'll just use the lead.
That's really angry.
It's so angry.
Angry Charlie into an Angry Charlie.
And it can push anything. So clean to metal, like just as an example. Other than a little bit of background hiss, of course you're not going to hear when you're playing. That's pretty clean. That is not. So it's really killer to be able to just switch back and forth. And I'm not gonna lie, I love the lights. I love the LED changing color, because that was a very handy thing to put in. These guys, I think they knocked it out of the park on this one. This is my favorite overdrive pedal in the world.
It's a good one. I'm really happy with it.
You have too many overdrives.
It's gonna go on my board. I'm gonna pull up something and put it on there, and it'll be my first boss pedal on the pedal board. Oh,
it's so good. So if you guys have not heard this thing, definitely give it a shot.
I don't know, and it's one of those, like, they're still making them.
Get them before they're not there.
You never know. You never know. You really don't. You don't know if they're going to ever stop making them. I don't know, but it is nice, and it's one of those. I think it's priced
$199,
the same as what you'd pay for an Angry Charlie.
I'm not familiar enough.
I think they're about the same price point. They were $199.
I'll ask the guy who bought one. He's got to remember stuff.
I bought it used.
Oh, okay, cool.
I bought it used. Yeah. Anyway, just want to also give a quick shout out to Hosa for giving us a couple of these new patch cables that they're doing, the CFP series. They are super flat, super pliable, and they're just, I love them.
You can get those pedals about as close as possible. Of course, you know, they usually be Velcroed, but
well,
that's actually even staying in place pretty well.
It's really, I mean, and they're just make any pedal board look clean, and we appreciate them sending them to us for our videos. We'll be using them from now on. So just a quick Hosa plug there.
Thanks, Hosa. My studio loves you.
So does my pedal board.
So.
Well, I'm Rick.
I'm Joe. Thanks for checking us out.
You won't like me when I'm angry.